Hey folks, how's it going? Boogs here, back with a new armor brief video. Sorry for the gap between this and the last, I've been away and busy with work. Anyway, today I'll be talking about a brand new addition to the game. Well, brand new a few weeks ago. We Squaddies were blessed with a large update in the form of the Aussie faction being added. With this, new vehicles for us to play and review. So, with that over, in this vid I'll be doing a brief on the Aussie AS LAV. Let's get stuck in. The ASLAV, or Australian Light Armoured Vehicle, is a development of the United States Marine Corps' LAV-25 and the Canadian Army's Bison AFV. It was designed between 1992 and 1994. Production began in 1995, and over the 12 years it was being produced, over 200 were made. In the late 80s, the Australian Army purchased 15 used LAV-25s from the United States Marine Corps. These were intended to trial the WAFV, or the Aussie Wheeled Armoured Fighting Vehicle concept. The subsequent report supported this concept, with the LAV-25 being chosen as the one which fulfills the role of an armoured recon vehicle. By 1994, 97 Phase 2 units, which are improved LAV-25s, or now just ASLAVs, were sold to the Australian Army. By 97, all units of Phase 2 were delivered, which included replacements for the previous Phase 1 vehicles. At the end of 97, it was decided to continue procurement, and so 144 Phase 3 vehicles were ordered, as an upgrade to the old Phase 2 fleet. These newer versions had better crew protection, thermal sights, laser rangefinder, and suspension improvements and more. The ASLAV equips the cavalry squadrons of the Royal Australian Armoured Corps. It has seen service in conflicts such as East Timor, where it fulfilled the role as a scout, convoy escort, search and force presence. It was also deployed in Iraq in 2003 till 2009, where it saw combat through the engagement of a mortar base. Finally, the ASLAV saw service in Afghanistan from 2006 to 2013. Its role here was to be part of reconstruction, mentoring and special task forces. The ASLAV is a 13.2-ton, 8-wheel drive amphibious vehicle, which is powered by a Detroit diesel 275 horsepower engine that provides a top speed of 100 km an hour and an operational range of 660 km or 410 miles. It can carry a crew of 3 and 6 passengers. The vehicle is armed with a 25mm M242 Bushmaster chain gun, a coaxial 7.62mm NATO machine gun, and an additional 7.62mm gun on the top of the turret. The ASLAV is built using 3 main hull configurations, each with slightly different subvariants. The first is the ASLAV Type 1. This is the most common hull type and only has one configuration, the ASLAV 25 Recon. It carries only the normal armament in a 2-man turret with stabilizer and thermal sights. The Type 2 hull possesses no turret. This means it is only crewed by 2 soldiers, and also has a larger internal capacity. Though it can be equipped with a standard 12.7mm machine gun in a manned turret, or a remote weapon station with either a 12.7 or a 40mm grenade launcher. This hull type, and because of its larger internal volume, can fill the roles of a large personnel carrier, command and communications vehicle, specialist surveillance vehicle, and also an ambulance. The Type 3 hull also has no main gun like the Type 2 and can carry a remote weapon station. However, its main purpose is as an engineering vehicle, both for electronic and mechanical means. With the history and service out of the way, let's jump into what we can expect to see when playing this vehicle on squad. The driver can expect the power and maneuverability of the LAV-3 when operating the ASLAV. It has the same number of tyres, 8, and can still drive with only 4. The driver can also get up to a similar speed of 100 km an hour. There is a health pool of 1,250 for this vehicle also, but even though it is the same as the LAV-6, it lacks the 80 damage mitigating armour. You can expect to bounce any 7.62 fire, but 50 cal can get through your sides and rear. With this low HP and armour, one hit by a tow will put you into the burning state. In terms of supplies, the ASLAV can carry the standard 600 ammo that is seen with other IFVs and APCs. Now the gunner in the ASLAV has the same 25mm autocannon as the LAV-6, but carries significantly more ammo. That is, it can carry 70 AP and 230 HE. Along with this, it has a 7.62mm coaxial that has two 800 round boxes. In terms of concealment, the Aslav uses a standard 2x40mm smoke canisters. The gunner can expect to complete a full 360 degree rotation in 8 seconds, which is pretty standard compared to other IFVs, and his gun fires at a steady 200 rounds per minute. Now let's look at some of the other seats in the Aslav. The Commander, simply put, has a stabilized periscope, along with the Hunter-Killer functionality, and can see 60 degrees either side from the direction of the turret is facing. That is a total of 120 degrees field of view. In terms of passengers, you can fit up to 8 infantry members, though this is more than the 6 in real-life vehicles. These troops, like most of the Western IFVs and APCs in-game, leave via the back, and so long as contact is coming from the front, they are protected. So let me give you a rundown of my opinion and conclusions of this vehicle. With all what we've talked about in mind, we can start to discuss the advantages and the disadvantages that this vehicle poses. So first off, the hull sits in a weird place where it shares many similarities in its drive chain to the LAV 6, but it is more akin in battle to a Striker. That is, it is the same health pool as a LAV, but much worse armor. This comes in the form of the lack of the anti-tank weapon damage reduction multipliers seen across other larger IFVs. With this poor armor, even though it shares the same gun as a LAV 6 and has more ammo, it cannot compete. This puts it in a weird position where it has a weaponry of an IFV, but it is weakly armored as an APC, and it should be treated like an APC. However, don't expect to pose a threat to all other APCs, as the BTR-82 will still shred the Aslav in a 1v1. This vehicle then should be played conservatively, only moving into points or urban areas when you know they are clear of AT threats or mines. If used to transport infantry, consider dropping them off at a reasonable distance where they can move forward and clear off these threats. Don't stay still for too long. Remember to use your speed and maneuverability to your advantage. Drivers should also remember that the loss of a couple of wheels is no need to stop. If you can, keep yourself moving away from threats as long as possible before repairing. Only if speed is really needed should you consider repairing the wheels. And that's it, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Do let me know what you thought in the comments and share any experiences you have with the vehicle. If you want to see the Aslav in action, then check out some of the videos on our channel. As always, if you want to come play with us or get notified on upcoming videos, consider joining our Discord, which is linked down below. Currently, we have removed the ability to apply to become a wet member. We are sorry for this, and this was only done because our recruitment staff have work and education commitments for the next few weeks. I'll be sure to notify you when these are open again. Thanks again. Boogs out.